here, and then I can send I can send just I can send okay. I am trying to tell people what's happening so that people who are waiting can join. Let's see. Yeah, it's not happening. So going live now. Okay, let me see if I can get the link. Get shareable link. Okay. And okay. Okay. Yeah, it's working. It's just that I'm not in the right place. Yeah, it's working. It's just that I'm not in the right place. Okay, I'm gonna wait to see if someone comes. If not, I will paint anyway. And but this is really, I was so excited to be with you guys today, and somehow the universe didn't want this to happen right now, the way I had planned it, or we had planned it, and I guess this is the time to let go, to let go of expectations. Please write in the chat. Write on the chat if you are here for anyone. And let me just do something. I am going to also send it through. Well, yeah, no. Okay. Okay, so Stacy's telling me she's here, but she cannot tap on the chat. So I'm gonna see if I can make the chat. The chat is here. Huh. I wonder why. Let me see. Community participants. Yeah, I see Frankat1848. Please, can you? Oh, there. Yeah, the chat is working. Great. Hi. Let me just tell Stacy that the chat is working. If it's working for at least one person, it means it's working. And if it's not working for someone, it's on their side. Okay, fabulous. Thank you. Thank you so much for your patience and for being here, even though I had this technical issue happening. At least I can go live. It's just that, you know, it's like people are in the other room, in another room, and I'm in this other room. So, oh my God. Okay. Okay, great. Frank, is that your name? Frank? Thank you so much again for your patience. Hopefully more people will join. And again, if not, it's okay. It's just that, what's your name? Please write your name for me Oh, your cats, please write your name and where you are watching from. Hello, Bijudre. Please write your name so that I can. Kieran. Okay, great. I may not pronounce it correctly, but at least I can read it. Thank you. And yeah, please everybody write your. I'm just gonna write it on the chat. Please everyone write your name because I care. Your name, and then it's fun to know where you're from, where you are watching from. This is fun. Oh, good. Thank you. Where you are watching from. And also, please use the chat. I will be watching the chat because this is an interactive session. This is the best we can do as if we were in a room together. And so I'm going to be looking. I have the chat on my laptop and I am live through my iPad right now. Okay, so, and then please type on the chat if there's anything in particular that you would like me to go over and maybe even demonstrate here as I am on my art table. You're watching from iPad. Yeah, but from where? Where are you in the world? Where are you in the world? Kieran. Okay, and then let's see. Stacy seems like she hasn't been able to join yet, or she cannot type on the chat yet. Okay. Stacy, if you are here, I don't know why you cannot type on the chat, but you can type on the Facebook Messenger and I can read your words there. Okay. Wisconsin. Okay, fabulous. Thank you. And Biju, I don't know your name and where you're from. Okay, so I'm just gonna get started and with the practice. And again, please let me know if there's anything in particular that you would like me to cover. But more than anything, this is a space for presence. So I'm gonna actually invite us all to take 3 breaths together. It's also gonna help me and help us all to ground after having this technical issue and not being able to be in the room that I said I was going to be. And just breathe, letting go of expectations. Again, just feeling sad, a little sad for the people that were there, excited to be in this room with me today, and somehow maybe they're not finding me. Okay. All right. Can you color a Demogorgon? I don't know what that means. A Demogorgon. Please write maybe when you typed your the words you were Demogorgon. I don't know what that is. What's a Demogorgon? I've never heard of that. I don't know what that is. So I'm afraid I cannot do that today. I can look into it, but basically, I started painting mandalas a year and a half ago. I'm actually gonna just, can you see me? I started painting mandalas a year and a half ago. So I can tell you about things that I have learned and experienced and refined inside of my mandala practice. But anything else, I don't know what to do, probably. Anything else regarding art or painting? All right, so returning this here, and so yeah, the black, maybe, I don't know if it's, black might not be good. I think white is better today to do things here on. So let's pick up a practice sheet for brushstrokes. Maybe we can do, let's see, this design that I didn't do the other day. We can do this design today. Okay. Okay, which one is that one? This one? Okay, just so that I know, that's the one in the center of the iPad. Okay, so how about that? We're gonna paint this baby, and let's paint, just use different colors. I'm gonna use, I have some gold here that I like today. I'm gonna do gold for the dots, and then I will use other colors for the brush strokes. So for the dots, I love using the Thoughtful Dots dotting tools. That are these ones. And you're probably all familiar with these tools. Maybe you have them different, oops, here. But basically they have a little ball on the end, and they have two ends, so they have two balls. And yeah, so depending on the size we want, we're gonna use a different tool. So how do you know which one to use? So, well, let's like take, for example, this one. This is a 2.5. And let's see. Yeah, this one may be too big. So I'm gonna use the 2 for this dot. And then, yeah. So I'm gonna do actually 2 or maybe 1.5. Let's see, for these ones here. I'm gonna use 1.5 for walking the dots. And I'm gonna use 2 for this one. Okay, so 1.5. And I'll take my gold. I'm using this gold, Emperor's Gold from Deco Art, metallic. And so just show you. I like to show how I am immersing the ball, and a little bit more in this case. And let's just go here. Okay, so see, that looks like it's too little. So I'm going to go, I'm going to pick up more paint, so to higher, and then walk my dots. Okay, so I'm deepening again the same amount. Okay. And how I clean my tool, I showed this the other day, but I'll show it again. I take a piece of kitchen paper, and so that it absorbs the paint, the extra paint, and then I put my brush or my tool in one container of water and then another container. So because the first container gets dirty very quickly. Okay, so see, now it's clean. And we're gonna use size 2 for that top dot. Size 2 is the white one. So again, I'm gonna go in that much. And yeah, that was perfect. Perfect meaning it takes up all the space that we had. Not another kind of perfection. And that already tells you that if this one is size 2 is good for this one, this is gonna need 2.5, this 2, and this one is gonna need 3, or maybe even 3.5. So let's try, let's look together. I am cleaning my tool. See, Kieran, you're asking if I can draw a stocking. No, I'm not doing that. As I said, I am doing painting regarding mandalas. I am not painting, just don't know how to paint anything else. Okay. Let me see. No, Stacy. I don't know what happened to Stacy. But anyway, okay. Okay, so this is it. So let's go to 2.5. Yeah, see, that was right. And then again, meaning the amount of paint is taking the same space we have there. And then I'll take size 30, choose the green tool for the top dot. Okay, and again, that was the tool for that dot that was required to cover exactly that amount of surface. Okay, Stacy is asking me through Messenger, how do you get that thickened paint? Is straight out of the bottle or do you mix it? Yeah, this one is straight out of the bottle that I'm using. I just added it into the ones from the Quart Americana, you can use straight out of the bottle. It's very, very convenient. So let's close this one for now. And now I'm gonna use this red, a little pinkish paint. It's also from the Quart, and actually it's one that I bought that is reclaim acrylics, so it's better also for the environment. Okay, there we go. And it's the berry color, and I love this color. So I just poured some directly onto here last night to get it ready for today, and I was already using this paint last night. So okay, I'm gonna bring it closer so you can see there. Okay, it's just that I'm gonna have to remove it because it's too close and I need that space when I am actually using the brush. So now what we need to do is figure out, okay, what brush am I gonna need? See, if I'm gonna start with this one, with these brush strokes, this is definitely, it's coming from here to here. So it's much shorter than this one that's gonna come from here all the way here, right? So we're gonna need a longer, thicker brush to get enough paint to do this brush stroke. And for this one, it would be better to use a smaller and thinner brush. Otherwise, we're gonna have to have a super control hand to use a big brush to paint a small brush stroke. Not that it's not possible, but it's just gonna require much more effort. So why would we do that? We wanna make our life more simple and easier, right? So actually from this, from the Thoughtful Dots, oops, because I'm zoomed in so much. Okay, here we go. From the Thoughtful Dots brushes, and I have others, but from these ones, I'm showing you these ones because they are likely the ones that you have, or at least you can get in the US easily. But I will be showing other brushes as well. So size 1 is the longer and thicker, then size 0, then size 3/0, and then size 2/0. So this is the thinnest and smallest one of this collection. So let's use this one. I actually probably wouldn't use this one because I have others that are even more appropriate for this, but for this size, but this one will work as well. So we're gonna put it into the paint, see, a few times to make sure the paint is going through all the hairs. Then I like to remove the paint really here, but I see that my brush is all nice and covered with paint. And now I go back in and I look at, okay, how much paint I'm gonna need for this. Do I need more, do I need less? If I need more, I will dip it again into the paint to get more paint. Okay, let's see. And I just kiss the surface, apply with gentle pressure, and I start to move the brush in the direction of the brush stroke, very slowly. And I'm lifting it at the same time. My wrist is lifting right now, and at the end, the brushes are perpendicular, the hairs are perpendicular to the paper. Okay, I'm gonna bring this back in because I know when I have been taking courses and I would like to see, and most of the teachers that I have bought courses from, they don't show this. So I go back in with the brush, pick up the paint, and actually you can go like this, like kind of like around But you see, now I can see it has more paint. This one has more paint than the other brush stroke, so this one's gonna be thicker unless I'm careful. So you basically, if you like kind of swirl inside twice, you wanna be doing that every time. You do twice, don't do 3 times or 4 times for the other one, because then they will not have the same amount of paint, and then they will not be symmetrical. Okay, there we go. See, this one was smoother. It always happens to me. For my hand, it's just easier to do this side, what's my left side, and my right side. I think it's because the hand, just the, you know, the structure of the hand. So, okay. And now, okay, so I also want to show you what I do after that. So I remove the excess paint back into the container, into the pot. I close it if I'm not going to use it next. And then I will again dry a little bit my paint here, and then go to the water. First container of water, first wash, and then second wash. Okay. So that's that. And then I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to use this green that I love. And again, see if you can see it. As I'm putting my brush in, you might not be able to see it. Okay, so now for the next one, I'm going to change brushes, because you can see if I try to use the same brush, I'm not going to have enough to cover this. Again, I'm playing the game of matching as best as I can what's already on the paper. Of course, when I'm painting, I don't have to be matching anything, but here, this is how we're practicing and learning. So I need to use a longer and thicker brush. So I'm going to take size 1. I could use size 0 probably as well. Well, you know, let me use size 0 for the next one, and then size 1 for the outer brush stroke that's even longer and thicker. So let's do size 0. Ooh, I want to show you. Okay, I can't. It's so zoomed in. Let me just. It's so zoomed in. You can see. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Because I want to make sure you see. Okay. And what I'm going to do actually. So I can do this, but I am better with the brush strokes going in this direction, like away from me, rather than coming towards me. So I am actually going to move. Just get my tools out of here. I'm going to move my sheet like this. Okay. There we go. And then we have our paint. Just looking. We have our paint here. Okay, so again, size 0. I don't know if you can see, but again, I'm going in and swirling the brush, and then see how much paint. No, you cannot see. Here, I'm gonna come closer. There, see how much paint I picked up? So much, look, it's gonna drip. Can you see that? It just dripped. So anyway, I'm going to now remove, see if you can see here. I'm gonna remove it. And now go in and swirl once, twice. Okay. And it's almost dripping. So it's gonna actually drip. I'm gonna let it drip. That one drop, you might not see it. Okay, it just fell. Okay, so let me just. Again, I come here to the beginning of the brush stroke. I gently kiss the paper there and start to move very slowly. My wrist is moving here. Okay, I'm not going exactly as what's there. And I didn't finish also with a nice end. But okay, all right, so I'm gonna go back in here and swirl once. That's enough. Okay. You can kiss in the surface and then begin to move. Very, very slowly. Okay, so funny enough, in this case, the right side was easier and it came out closer to what's already here. I would say more perfect, but I'd rather not use the word perfect here, but you know what I'm saying. It's a better match for what's already on the paper. Okay, so again, I am, let me zoom back here again. I am putting the excess paint back in the container. And then I am going to dry a little bit on my paper. And then it goes into the water. You see it over there, hopefully. You see the first container gets dirty or quicker. So then I rinse in the second one. With the second one. Okay, let me go back to the video. Okay. Triveneta, hi, thanks for joining us. Please tell me your name and where in the world you are, and if there's any specific request you have for me that I could do regarding mandala painting, dot painting. Okay, good. So that was done with size 0. We are now going to move to size 1. And for the longer and thicker brush stroke. And I'm going to go back to that red pink color. Actually, you don't know, I want to do the gold. Just that. Okay. For the gold, I have it in this very small container. This is is it a 3 or a 5 ml? I don't know if it's 3 or 5. Let me just zoom again here so you can see. So it's gonna be harder to put a size 1 here, size 1, to put the whole brush inside because I have a small container here, yeah? Compared with putting it into this one, right? That has much more paint and is deep. But let's try, because I would like to use the gold. So I am putting it all the way in. Can you see? Hold on. Yeah. All the way in, and I'm gonna swirl once and twice, and then I will do my best to remove the paint. And then I'm going to go back in, swirling once and swirling twice. Actually, yeah. Sometimes the metallics are a little bit thin or thinner than the other regular colors. Let's see how we can do this so that I am comfortable. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna place, again, just gently touching the very tip, see how much paint there is, and then begin to drag the paint. I'm pressing down. Okay, that's pretty good. And then again, I will go back in here once and a half. Again, we come to the very tip and then begin to press down and travel slowly. Okay. So that's what we got. And if you are learning something that is useful for you, please let me know. I would love to see it in the comments here in the chat right now live. Oh, thank you for that, those hearts. And of course, whenever you are watching, whoever is watching this, the recording, thank you for being here as well. And please let me know in the comments if you're learning something useful, if you are somehow feeling even more inspired to paint yourself, to go to the next level, to take yourself to the next level. And yeah, just let me know. I'd love to know, and also what you need so I can cover it in my next live. Okay, so what else can we do? Since I don't have any feedback from you about what you need, any more feedback at this moment, then it's like you're leaving it up to me. Let's see. I don't know what there's so many things we could do. Let's paint. Let's do these flowers. I have already painted a whole bunch, but I have some over here that haven't been painted yet. And okay, so let's look. What brush should we use here? Obviously not, the size 1 is gonna be too much. We could use it, but again, it's just not the best match. And since we have other brushes, so actually I'm going to use the brush that I like for this is, well, let's try. Yeah, we're going to try a couple of different brushes so we can see what's the difference, what difference it makes. So we're going to try these 2 brushes. This is from another brand. It's an American brand. And this is 1 and 5/0. I wrote it there with my marker so that is more clear. You can see how 1 is longer and thicker than 5/0, yeah? So let's try using both. I'm going to go every other petal here with the size 1, and then every other petal with the other size. And in order for us to have a control experiment, and I know about this because I was a scientist for many years, what we need to do is to use the same paint, because I'm tempted right now to use, if we're going to do every other one, to use, for example, gold, and then for the other ones, every other one to use a color. But then it will not be exactly the same paint, and we have 2 variables going on, and I want to have only one variable. So let's use the pink, because I really like this color. We'll use the pink for both. And I'm going to start with size 1. See, I want you to be able to see. Again, I'm gonna be putting the brush into the paint. Again, I'm swirling, and then I'm gonna remove the paint, and then I'm gonna swirl once and twice And let's see what happens here. Maybe this is too big. Maybe it's, see. Yeah, it's too much paint. But let's try. Let's imagine we only have this brush to do all this work. See? I just need to have, well, that one was much better. See? I just need to have more control with the brush. I'm just dipping it in once and swirling once. My hand is shaking right now. Okay. I have found that for me it's much more comfortable and easy to go from left to right for brush strokes. Oops, that's really off. Okay. So I can move my mandala or my paper such that I can always go left to right. Yeah, my hand is very shaky right now. Not sure why. Can you see? I'm moving away from. Okay, so that's enough. Just half of the flower. So to see this this experiment. Oh no, I'm not closing it. I'm gonna use the same color. I forgot. Okay, so this was size 1 for the brush. I'll wash it. Stacy, let's see. You have a message here. How would you start a brand new project? Tell me more about what you mean by a brand new project. You mean a mandala? Start a mandala from scratch, and it will be your first time ever painting? I need more information from you. Okay, so let me just see. Oh, I really appreciate the realness of your teachings. Thank you, very helpful. I'm so glad, Stacy. Yeah, that's what this is all about, to be real. These are the things that one encounters when you're by yourself and you're trying to do all these things and you're by yourself and like, oh, I need help. I need someone who can guide me. Someone who's all right, so we're going to use now 5/0 and using the same paint for these ones, so we can see if maybe one brush is better than the other one. So see, if we do this on a separate piece of paper like we're doing now, and we want to do this design our mandala, so we figure out first what brush is the best. Then when it comes time to drawing the mandala, we know, we just pick up the brush and go. All right, just. Yeah. This one is so much better. Can you guys tell? You may even like to do this in your design, to do every other one thicker and then every other one thinner. We can see if we like the result or we don't. I'm just putting the brush into the paint once. Yeah, my hand is very shaky right now. I don't know if you can tell. Again, it's part of the process, at least my process. This is my process. See, I'm just putting the brush in and kind of picking up paint. Oh, that wasn't so nice. Again, I just want you to see again how I just put the brush in and pick up paint, kind of like a swirling motion there. And then, okay, gonna do this one. But this one, I think you can see this size, this brush is the one that's matching, or that is easier to match what's on the paper with this brush, which is shorter and a bit thinner than size 1. Closing that, cleaning, washing, first wash and second wash. Okay. So let's see. Let's do a close up. Again, also because we use the same paint, it's harder to tell now, but that we did something different with every other one. So it is possible to do it with the size 1 in this case, with the thicker one, but it was harder for me to control the how much paint was coming out moment by moment and where exactly. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna do one more thing, and if nobody has any more questions, and yeah, Stacy, please let me know what you need, and anybody else who is here in the chat, if you wanna let me know if you need anything, and then after this, I will finish today. So I'm gonna use the gold for this other side of the flower. Of the flower we were just painting, which is here. Just have this so zoomed in. There, yeah, this one here. I'm gonna use the golden color we were using earlier. And I just thought of something, I just had an idea, so I'm gonna do it. Which is not exactly what's here, but I'll show you. So my idea right now is to, hold on, I do want you to see what I'm doing with my brush. So I'm just dipping it again, swirling, picking up paint as I swirled. Okay, and I'm gonna do, okay, so see, now with this paint, I actually have to put more pressure to cover all of that, and it's not even enough. See, that's why I didn't want to use a different paint earlier, because we were doing the experiment of using the different brushes with the same paint. So anyway, now I'm using the 5/0, every other one. And for some reason this paint has a lot of bubbles, I can see them. So again, you're just begin and then start to press, feel that space, and then start to lift. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of bubbles here. So I did every other one with this, and now my idea is to do dots on the other ones, which again, I know it's not what's there, but see, what's important is to allow your creativity to be real here now. So let's do that. Okay, so it's right here, this one here we're painting. I'm gonna take size 3 of my dotting tools and do some walking of the dots there. And I will use the same gold, this Emperor's Gold color. Make sure you can see. Again, I'm gonna go, I like to go again a little bit beyond the ball up, but different mandala artists do different things. And then I'm gonna come here and then walk my dots. Yeah, so this size worked out well. If I'd taken a smaller one, we'd probably run out of paint too early. Okay, that one wasn't ideal. I went over on top of the brush, the other brush stroke. Okay. Gonna go even more slowly so you can have better control of where you're placing your dots. Okay. So again, because we have the black background underneath, it doesn't look so nice right now. But again, that's just an idea that came to me on the moment as I was painting the flower. And it's something, of course, you could do with your design. And yeah, well, in the center, we could, it's just that now the paint is wet, so I don't want to do it. But we would just take one of these other tools with a flat end to place a big dot. Where is it? Here. To place a big dot in the middle. Okay. So I'm gonna see if there's any questions. That's our flower today. If there's no questions, I will just wrap this up now. And yeah, please let me know if you watch this later, whenever you do, if you find it useful, if you find it inspiring, and if you have any specific questions that we could cover here together. Again, I'm here. Let me just see if I can. Okay. I'm here to bring presence, and in this presence, be together and yeah, see if I can help and contribute to your practice. And that's it for now. And let me know if you need anything that I can support you with. All right, much love, everyone. Thank you for being here. Bye. See if I can finish this live.